Hello everyone and welcome to another YouTube video. I'm Hype the Commentator and thank you all for joining me today. Today we are taking a look at Rey Mysterio versus the late great Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 21. All right, I want to thank you all for all of your love and support, and as always, let's get right into it. So it's Eddie Guerrero, it's Rey Mysterio. And let's talk about how this match came to be. It was a few nights ago on Friday Night SmackDown that they had two matches which they accidentally, or at least what we're perceiving as accidentally, interfering in each other's matches, costing them their matches. Were they accidents? I personally think they were accidents, but they didn't see it that way, and that's how we are here at WrestleMania. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. Eddie Guerrero, had that fireman's carry, but Mysterio landing on his feet. Shoulder tackle from Mysterio. Eddie with that, oh my God. That arm drag. Mysterio just smacking the mat at full speed. Mysterio was at full speed. Eddie Guerrero caught him off guard with that arm drag, just smacked the mat. Going for that cover. Mysterio trying to muscle out, but Eddie trying to hold Mysterio's arms to the mat. Keep those shoulders down. One. Mysterio gets that shoulder up at one as he fights out. Eddie Guerrero. And Mysterio. Oh, Eddie trips Mysterio. Mysterio has Eddie up. Oh, rolls through sunset flip, but Eddie lands on his feet. Eddie. And a slingshot, perhaps. Oh my, look at that. Rey Mysterio just gets slingshot over the top onto the floor. Eddie Guerrero, full steam ahead, but Mysterio rolls in the ring. Now Mysterio, perhaps thinking a 619 while Eddie was close to the ropes. Eddie moved out of the way. These two know each other so well. Going back to their rivalry in WCW for the Cruiserweight Championship. Now Eddie is back in the ring. Gonna take their time. They're feeling each other out. Seeing what works, what doesn't. They know each other so well. So in this situation, you gotta pull some new tricks out of the bag. If there are any new tricks to be pulled, this is the time to do it. The stakes are high. We're on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Look at this. Both shoulders were down. Now they both bridge up while their hands are locked. Both men thinking the same thing. Eddie, with control of that wrist, has that key lock on Mysterio, perhaps wanting to force Mysterio to submit. That would be embarrassing for Rey Mysterio to tap out on the grandest stage of them all. But Rey Mysterio gets out of that. Once again, interlocking arms. They try to do a test of strength. Eddie Guerrero so far has been in control for the majority of this match. Eddie Guerrero. Oh, but Mysterio landed on his feet. Shoulder tackle to Guerrero. Guerrero gets back up. Leapfrog over Mysterio. Mysterio with a leapfrog of his own. Oh my, look at that. Mysterio got the boots up and Eddie sent flying, landing into those bottom ropes. His legs, that landed a little poorly. Oh my, Mysterio got sent up on the ring apron, landed on, but then got caught with a huge right from Eddie, knocking Mysterio onto the floor. Eddie flying over the top, high crossbody to Mysterio onto the floor. Not wasting any time. These tag team champions colliding one-on-one. Hoping to settle their differences. And what a better place. In fact, there is no better place to settle the score than at WrestleMania. The showcase of immortals. The grandest stage of them all. In Hollywood. And Eddie Guerrero in control, has control of the arm of Mysterio. It's trapped. Mysterio trying to break free as Eddie was driving the head into the back, applying the pressure. Has both arms locked behind Mysterio. Can Mysterio get back up? Mysterio up to one knee. Now Mysterio back up to his feet, but now he's got to figure out how to break out. Eddie Guerrero backdrop suplex. Nails Mysterio right in the mat. Hard hitting. And a 1 count on, and only a 1 count on that. And Eddie Guerrero leaving WrestleMania 20 last year as the WWE champion. This year, looking to settle the score in a grudge match against someone he thought was close to him, Rey Mysterio. And it was until this past week on Friday Night SmackDown just a few nights ago where they inadvertently cost each other their matches. They try to intervene, try to get involved. It seemed that they were trying to help each other out, but instead costing each other their victories in their respective matches. Eddie Guerrero with the Romero special. Rey able to shift the weight to pop out of it. And now Guerrero still in control. Guerrero holding onto that ankle of Mysterio. I think an STF. Eddie Guerrero taking his time, slowing this match down to a pace of his liking. This is smart because Rey Mysterio is so quick. But Eddie Guerrero, it's well documented of his quickness. Being a cruiserweight in the past, put on a few extra pounds since his days as a cruiserweight. But all of it's muscle. Eddie Guerrero wants to slow it down to his pace so he doesn't have to exhaust all of his energy trying to keep up with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio with an arm drag. Wow, what a reversal. Sending Eddie Guerrero to the outside onto the floor. Eddie Guerrero going to catch a breather. Going to catch his breath, take a breather. Ref telling Eddie, get back in the ring. Mysterio, baseball slide. Eddie Guerrero falls back onto the floor. Now I'm measuring Eddie Guerrero up right where he wants him, up and over. What do you call that? A corkscrew, rather. That is. It's like a tornado coming full speed ahead at Eddie Guerrero with that corkscrew. Look at this corkscrew. Mysterio with a kick to the leg of Eddie Guerrero. That's what you got to do when you're the smaller man in the match. Break your opponent down by their legs. Force them down to your size. Springboard. Sit out senton. Oh, and a back elbow from Eddie Guerrero. Stops Mysterio right in his tracks. And Eddie Guerrero is in control once again. And Eddie, thinking three amigos. Here comes one. These 3 vertical suplexes. Oh, but no, Mysterio rolls through. 1, 2. Oh, and Eddie kicks out at 2. Near fall, catching Eddie Guerrero off guard. Eddie Guerrero. Mysterio up for a back. Oh, a backbreaker right on that spine, 2. Mysterio gets the shoulder up at 2. Mysterio needs to find his way back in this. Right now, Eddie Guerrero putting some heavy-duty offense to keep down the high flyer. Eddie Guerrero. There's another suplex. Perhaps the second one. 2. There's a third one he's done this match. But perhaps 3 in a row for the charm. 3rd time's a charm. But Rey Mysterio landing on his feet. Oh, but instead, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie turning things around. But Mysterio. Oh, Hurricane Rana. He's got Eddie right where he wants him. And he's dialing it up with a 619. But Eddie moved out of the way. Eddie, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. 1, 2. Oh, and Mysterio kicks out at 2.5. Mysterio, the way his body bent on that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, absolutely devastating. that lower back also affects the legs. Let's watch the way his body just bent. In slow motion, it doesn't get any prettier in slow motion. I'll tell you that. And Eddie Guerrero looking for this vertical suplex again with another one. This is definitely more than 3 amigos. 2, perhaps looking for them 3 in a row. And now looking for the 3rd one in a row. And it connects. We could be moments away from Eddie Guerrero picking up the victory at WrestleMania. Eddie, Latino Heat. Guerrero heads up to the top. And a frog splash. But no. Rey Mysterio rolled out of harm's way just in the nick of time. And now both men are down. The referee has started the count. The last thing you want is to double count out in such a big grudge match. Already halfway there. Oh, but they're back up. Oh, Rey Mysterio. Go wrap Eddie up, going for that cover, but Eddie Guerrero realizes 1, 2. Oh my, Eddie Guerrero almost turning things around, almost picked up the victory, stealing this one. But in fact, Rey Mysterio able to stay in this. And Mysterio pulls himself back up, kicks to the midsection of Eddie Guerrero, who was charging at him. And again, the boots at Eddie Guerrero. Rolls up to Eddie Guerrero. Perhaps thinking a Hurricane Rana, but Eddie Guerrero pushes him off, lands on his feet. Oh, drop toe to Eddie Guerrero. Looking to dial it up. One more time for the 619, and it connects. Eddie Guerrero is all the way across the ring, sent flying. Mysterio has been through a lot with that back being worked on multiple times throughout this match. Rey Mysterio is out of it, but he's ready to close this thing out. Going for the West Coast pop, but instead Eddie Guerrero with a power bomb. And Mysterio managed to kick out at 2. Eddie can't believe it. You can hear the Eddie chants. The crowd is absolutely electric here in Hollywood. Oh, and a back elbow from Mysterio. And Hurricane Rana. 1, 2, 3. And Mysterio pulls out the victory. Mysterio able to get Eddie for the 3. From out of nowhere, Rey Mysterio with that roll up. That Hurricane Rana catches Eddie off guard, and it was enough for Rey Mysterio to pick up the victory at WrestleMania. Eddie Guerrero can't believe it. Rey Mysterio bested him in this contest. Rey Mysterio gets back in the ring, though. Eddie devastated. You can see it in his eyes. But Mysterio was able to best Eddie, shaking his hand. Eddie Guerrero shook the hand of Mysterio. You know what this? He says lies, he cheats, and steals, but it seems that Rey Mysterio may have stolen this one with that roll up, catching Eddie Guerrero off guard. But in the end, it was Rey Mysterio victorious. Eddie Guerrero falling short to the master of the 619. All right, everyone, and that was Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 21. In the end, Rey Mysterio was able to pull out the victory with that Hurricane Rana, hold Eddie Guerrero down for the 3 count. Sign of respect at the end, and they parted ways. Well, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in to another YouTube video. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Instagram at Hype the Commentator. X at Hype Commentator. TikTok at Hype the Commentator with a 7 instead of an R at the end. Twitch at twitch.tv/Hype the Commentator. For so much more content. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for all the love and support. And I will see you all in the next one.